Hi, my name is Jamie Hipp, and I'm the Director of Sales and Support for Compendium Library Services. In today's demonstration, I will provide an overview of all four of our products: DeskTracker, KnowledgeTracker, DeskTracker Plus, and DeskTracker Live. I invite you to look at our website, compendiumlib.com, and scroll to the very bottom of the main page, where you will see a product comparison chart. This chart shows a breakdown of all of the offerings of each product of ours. The first product we came up with was called DeskTracker. It is a standalone system that allows you to track data and report on that data. KnowledgeTracker was our second system, and it is a reference management system for patron-librarian communication. If you have those two systems separately, they can work together, which we package as DeskTracker and KnowledgeTracker in this column. Our third product was called DeskTracker Plus. DeskTracker Plus includes all of the benefits and abilities of DeskTracker and KnowledgeTracker and adds the ability of email management, saved report templates, and survey management. Our most advanced system is called DeskTracker Live. It combines all of the features of DeskTracker Plus and allows for setting alerts for high traffic service points, live viewing of statistical entries throughout the entire library, and scheduled report delivery. Now I will head over to our DeskTracker system to show you an overview of its functionality. First, you will see if I sign out of the system. In order to sign back in, all I need to do is open a web browser, enter my account number, and click Submit. Now I can choose a user that I would like to log in as, click Submit, choose the branch that I would like to log into, and also choose which desk I would like to log into at that branch. And now I'm in the system. So because you open a web browser to enter the system, this is known as a hosted system, and there's nothing that you need to download or install in order to start. The purpose of DeskTracker is to manage the tracking of public service statistics. You can create an unlimited number of customizable web forms for different purposes, and by web forms I'm referring to these yellow tabs that I'm hovering over. You can make any customizations you'd like on your end, but that is also part of the service that we offer with your subscription at no extra cost. I'll go ahead and show you an overview of each tab that's available here, and just know that these tabs can be renamed and their content can be completely changed to what you would like to see at your library for the information that you would like to track. I'm just going to show you examples of what is possible and what some libraries are using within our system. The classic example is the Activity tab. The most common use for DeskTracker is at an information desk or a reference desk. So once again, this is a customizable form, but most libraries are going to track some type of question, so for example here, purpose of visit, and some type of contact method. We're tracking transactions as they happen, so whenever a question is asked, we can make an entry. So here I'll go ahead and click Submit, and you can see that I have a successful submission. It marks the date and the time. It gives me the ability to cancel the last entry if it was made in error, and it also tracks which branch, desk, and user made the submission. If you'd like to track duration of visit, you can do that as well. If you'd like to add text, such as the question that was asked and the answer that was provided, you can do so in the comment field. You can preset default selections for common questions to cut down on clicking even further. For example, here I have preset walk-in and directions. You can make fields required or optional. We can make multiple entries. For example, if 5 people came up to the desk, a group of 5 with the same question, I could enter 5 here, make a submission, and it would be as if I was making 5 separate submissions. So again, just something to save you time. I can also do a custom timestamp. While all of our web forms are mobile compatible for roving reference, say you don't have technology with you as you're walking around and somebody asks you a question. You can enter a custom timestamp for any date or time prior and have a more accurate entry for when the data was gathered. Now I'll just go ahead and show you the examples of the web forms I've created in this system. Again, the Activity tab is for basic transactions at service points. Here we have a Classes tab. Again, the name of the tab can be anything that you would like it to be, and the content within the tab can be anything that you would like. This is just an example. We have found that many libraries spend a lot of time preparing for classes and programs and have trouble quantifying that data, so we show this tab to show you that this is possible within our system. So for example, in this Classes tab, you could see the class date and time, the room for which the class was in, a description of the event, resources used, the subject area, total teaching time, etc. Anything you would like to populate is possible. You can also track gate counts or head counts. You can do so, you can calculate from your gate count device if you'd like, or you can just enter manually. I also have an Interlibrary Loan tab here, and I show this just to show you that different departments can build their own forms, and it is not necessary that each department uses the same forms. For example, say you are a public library and you want this Interlibrary Loan tab to be available at the reference desk, but you don't necessarily need it to be taking up space in your tabs if you're at a children's desk. So if you have a multiple desk subscription where upon login you choose your desk from the drop-down as I showed you, then you can hide or show tabs that are relevant only to the desk that you're logging in at. If you have a single desk subscription, however, that is not possible, and every single user that logs in would see the same tabs up top and have to report on those same tabs. I also have a circulation tab here. So far all of our data has been entered as it happens, but you also have the capability of doing batch entries within the system. So, for example, if you shelved 1,000 journals in the past month, you can enter that figure, click Submit, and it would be as if you had 1,000 separate submissions. Again, just a time saver. And I include the read scale here. Not all libraries use this. However, I include it to show that you can add an unlimited number of text in your web forms. You can see this is a very long text field. If you're unfamiliar with the read scale, you can learn more at readscale.org. It's a rating scale for reference questions based on time and effort in answering the question, and it was developed by a librarian at Dominican University. And this read scale would actually go on, likely on the Activity tab, but we just show this as a separate tab to explain that this is also possible within our system. So once the data is in the system, you have a variety of methods for reporting. You can see that each row within DeskTracker Reports here has a corresponding web form or yellow tab above. So for example, for everything I've entered into the Activity tab here, you can run 6 different types of reports. 2 different types of bar graphs, a pie graph, a line graph, a cross-tabular report, and a text-based report. By clicking on each report link, you are then brought to a page that shows you how to filter that report. I'll go ahead and show you that now. This is how you filter every single report within our system. Under Report Options, you will choose the type of report based on the data that was entered on that tab. You will then filter by location if you'd like. You can choose which branch. Here I only have 2, but you can have an unlimited number of branches on your subscription. And then if you have a multiple desk subscription, you can also filter by desk, and you can have an unlimited number of desks on your subscription. You can also filter by user. Again, you can have an unlimited number of users on your account, and that goes for whether you have a single desk subscription of DeskTracker or a multiple desk subscription. You can also filter by date range, and you can compare past months and past years. Your data never goes away. If you accidentally destroy all of your data somehow, we can recover it for you. This is a hosted system, so we can store all data on our side. Within that date range, you can search recurring periods. For example, if you wanted to look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays from noon to 3 p.m., you could do that. You can filter by response if you'd like. For example, you could search for contact method is email. And I won't go over this KnowledgeTracker section. This is only if you have a separate KnowledgeTracker account, the two can talk to each other. Okay, so that is how you filter every single type of report in our system, and now I'll go ahead and show you the examples of each report. This is our first type of bar graph, and here I'm just showing contact method over a date range. So you can see this axis has the numbers 1 through 5, and the key is down below here, and you can see the actual data figure and then percentages for each type of contact method. Our second type of bar graph is here. And this just eliminates the key. It puts the breakdown of the details you're looking for on this the vertical axis and the figures on the horizontal axis. And if you look at this little box with the 3 horizontal lines here, you can see I have the ability to print this chart or download in 4 different file formats directly from this chart. Our next type of graph is the pie chart. You can get exact figures instead of percentages by hovering over the slice of the pie. Again, print or download directly from the chart. Our next type of graph is the line graph, and I'm showing here purpose of visit over a date range. If you hover over this graph, you can see exact figures as well. Again, print and download directly from the chart. Next, we have a cross-tabular report. Here I'm showing purpose of visit over a date range. If you have a multiple desk subscription, you can break this down even further to show your information by desk. And lastly, we have a text-based report. Here I've chosen one single date and time. Of course, you can filter by any method I showed you prior as well. But here I chose a single date so you can see everything that happened in your library on a given day. Okay, so if I go to the Reports tab, under the Download section I can see Data File Generator. And now you see I have the ability to download in standard or flat.csv format, and that makes all of your data compatible with a spreadsheet application such as Excel. If you choose to do any kind of graphing outside of the system, that is a functionality that we offer. Now, if I go to the Manage tab, here you can see under Page List, I have a corresponding hyperlink for every web form above. So this is where I would go to make edits to the form. I'll go ahead and click on the Activity hyperlink here. This is where I would make edits to the Activity tab. If I go under Page Options, I can add a new field, and by field I'm referring to a question type below. I'll go ahead and click Add New Field. Here you can see I can add a question. This is where I would have written contact method or purpose of visit, and of course you can make it anything that you would like. And under question type, you see I have a variety of options for the way I want that question to be formatted. I can do radio buttons, check boxes, drop-down menu, large text box, small text box, numeric entry box, a date box, date and time, one click, gate count, or a help text, so just to add text without it being a question with answer choices. And then in the desks section, I can choose which desks the question is visible at. Okay, now we are back on the original screen. All I did to get to that previous one was click Add New Field. So here I can rename the tab, so change it from Activity to something else. I can change the column view. I can change the view options of the page. So here you can see I can make the page visible in standard format, batch format, or tick sheet with multiple entries as an option under standard format. And down here you can see a description of what each of those means. So now you can see this is where the data that I have already populated exists. So contact method and purpose of visit, these are my question types. If I'd like to edit those, I just click on the pencil icon. Here I can add a response below, add an answer choice. I can rename this question. I can manually reorder it within the page. I can hide this question, so this would be used if I want to keep all of my historical data, but I no longer want to record new data entries for this question. I can remove this question altogether, which does destroy historical data. I can set it as required versus optional. I can change the type of question, for example, radio button, checkbox, dropdown. Or I can limit the desks for which this question is visible. And similarly, within each answer choice, I can click on the pencil icon and manually reorder, rename, add a follow-up, hide, remove. I can merge. I can unset this question as a default, or I can limit the desks for which the question is visible. And I'll go ahead and show you this merge feature. This is something we added recently. So here, if you have a question, for example, under Activity Contact Method Walk-in, if you have accidentally you entered walk up as well, you could then merge those two questions so that your answer choices are combined into the same data point. I don't have this as walk up, but for example, walk up would be below, and I could merge the two. And also, we have an option, instead of to manually reorder these fields, you can drag the crosshair, and here you can see I'm reordering the contact method entire question within the page, or I can drag the crosshair and reorder my questions, or my answers within the question. Okay, let's head back to the Manage view. And I'll show you under Administrative Menu, you have the User Location Manager. This is where the system administrator would go to add new users. I'll click on New User here, and you can see it's very simple to set up a new user within the system. And again, you can have an unlimited number of users on your account for no extra cost. And for each user, you can set access level, so they can have the ability to just enter data and run reports, enter data, run reports, and edit or delete entries. And then you can have branch administrators who have essentially system administrator access, but only for the branch they're assigned to. And then you have full system administrators who can do any kind of customization within the system that they would like. And then for each user, you can set desk access as well as branch access. So here, this is the main branch. If I'd only like them to see journal room and reference desk, I can set that up. If I don't want them to be able to see the special collections branch at all, I can uncheck that. So now they only have visibility to the journal room and reference desk. Also within the Manage tab under User Location Manager, I can make edits to each branch and each desk. For example, if I click on one of the desks to edit, here I can set a tab as default within each desk, so which tab here shows as the main tab, and I can also set which tabs are available at each desk in this screen. Also in the Manage tab, you see I have a PDF user guide available, and I also have a support button available. With your account, you always get free support by our team, but if you would like to look at the support library on our website, clients get full access to video recordings of us going through each step within the system visually, and also step-by-step guides for how to do certain things within the system. That is the overview of DeskTracker Basic. Now I will jump to DeskTracker Plus, and in doing so, in describing DeskTracker Plus, I will show you KnowledgeTracker as well, because it comes inherent to this system. Also inherent to DeskTracker Plus is the statistics functionality of DeskTracker Basic. And here you can see I have an Activity tab and a Classes tab. And I only created these two for the purpose of this demo, but you can have an unlimited number, of course, of customizable web forms. And you can title them whatever you'd like, and you can enter whatever content you would like. Okay, now I will jump to the KnowledgeTracker reference management portion of DeskTracker Plus. So if I click on Tickets and Dashboard, here you can see I have a dashboard of all tickets that are assigned to me and are open. So how do these tickets come into the system? Well, your library will create a web form on their website. And for example, this is a long-standing client of ours, the University of Chicago Library. And here on their website, they have an Ask a Librarian form. And this is where a patron would go, or a student, and enter their question, choose which department it's relevant to in the drop-down, etc. All requests come into the DeskTracker Plus system, and when a patron fills out a request form and clicks Submit, we have an optional CAPTCHA screen to keep out spam requests, and then we can pass the patron on to whatever website we'd like. And then at this point, a few things happen. The patron has submitted a request, so they're going to get an automated bounce back email with whatever text we'd like to send them. Here's just a screenshot of an example email where you would enter the text here. The patron would see their question number, and then they would see their original question. The second thing that happens is that the request is entered into the system. All requests are assigned and could be assigned to one administrator who then reassigns them, or you could have requests for each web form assigned to a different person. You can assign to a group instead of an individual as well. Whatever your choice, someone will be assigned the request. And you can have a reference at your domain address or additional email addresses for assigning to specific librarians if you'd like. And once this ticket is generated, the librarian that it's been assigned to will receive an email. They will see the ticket number and all of the details of the ticket, of the patron information, and also the transcript of the question. And they will be told to log into the system. So the librarian will log into the system, and it will show, they go to Tickets and Dashboard, which is just where we are, and they will see all of the tickets that are open to them. So I'll go ahead and scroll down to this first ticket down here. You click on the ticket number, it is a hyperlink. And now you see all of the patron information here. And once a ticket is closed, we can set privacy settings to where all of the patron personal information, such as email, disappears. However, the data, the question and answer provided, is stored within the system for librarian reference. You can enter optional resources if you'd like. For example, here you might type a link to an article or a book that helped you answer the question that was provided to the patron. You can set up optional boxes like this to help in a variety of formats. And here you can see a transcript of the entire communication between the patron and librarian. And again, this is just a demo example, so it's not real world, so you see a lot of repeats as I've used this several times. But here I'll scroll to the bottom and you can see our librarian is in blue here, and our patron is in red here, so you can see the delineation between the two. And any comments that the librarian chooses to make, for example, when you go to answer this question, you can enter a comment which is not seen by the patron. Those comments are in bold black, so you can see whenever a status change has been made, or a comment has been entered, or a resource entered, you see it within the transcript, but the patron does not get a notification and does not see that information. So when you go to answer the question, you type your answer into the box here. You can choose a boilerplate response if you'd like, and you can set an unlimited number of boilerplate responses. You can also enter links, images, and add attachments to this as well. You can post the comment or save it as a draft if you'd like. You can also change the status here, or you can even reassign to a different librarian if you are unable to answer the question. You can also create a new ticket within KnowledgeTracker. So say a patron calls instead of emails, you can take their name, their email, and their question, create a ticket, and it will be assigned to a relevant librarian at that time. And within reports, we can also report on the tickets. So if I click Request, for example, I will click on a report name that I already created, Test, right here. And you can see the variety of ways that you can format your tickets. And if I scroll down to report mode, I'll just go ahead and leave everything checked and run the report. And it pulled 37 tickets that matched the report fields that I was looking for. And I can click on each ticket and see the transcript. Also within DeskTracker Plus, you have the ability to send surveys. So for example, I will go to email messages, and here's a survey that I created. So you can send this survey as an email, or you can also add the URL to your website for patrons to take the survey. And the survey looks something like this, and of course it would have your text in the survey. You can allow patrons to click the Reply to Library box to request a reply from a librarian. Of course, this is something that you can disable as well. And within DeskTracker Plus, like I said, you have the same ability to do statistical entries just as you could in DeskTracker Basic, but the additional things you have with DeskTracker Plus are the ability to escalate active requests. And for example, I will click on Research Reference Assistance. Say you had a student worker or a librarian working a desk that was not able to answer the research or reference question right away. What you would do is have that person enter Research Reference Assistance, and then you click the button that says Escalate to Active Request. And when I mentioned how if you have DeskTracker Basic and KnowledgeTracker as two separate systems and they talk to each other, this is the way that they talk to each other, by this Escalate to Active Request functionality. So here, the person sitting at the desk would enter the patron email, choose which user this question is assigned to, and then enter the question that was asked. They would then click Submit, and the page would refresh, and they'd be ready for somebody else to come up and to enter a new data point. However, on the back end, now that we've escalated to an active request, a ticket is launched, and the librarian that is assigned to that ticket then receives an email, and the process begins all over again. They can log into their account and see their dashboard and see that they have an open ticket assigned to them, and then respond to the patron who asked the question. Another additional feature of DeskTracker Plus is under the statistics reporting. With DeskTracker Plus, you then have the ability to save report templates. So if you are running the same report over and over again, you don't want to be spending time filtering that report. So what you can do is save the report template and click on the hyperlink for that saved template, and your graph will automatically populate with updated figures. And you can save an unlimited number of reports on your account. Okay, so that is an overview of DeskTracker Plus, and you may have noticed throughout the system you keep seeing the word DeskTracker Live. That is because I am in the DeskTracker Live system, and I just showed you the added functionality of DeskTracker Plus. And the reason I do that is because our products are on a tiered system where basically everything adds features on top of the prior system. So therefore, DeskTracker Live comprises all prior systems. So DeskTracker Live gives you all of the functionality of DeskTracker, KnowledgeTracker, and DeskTracker Plus. The additional features of DeskTracker Live. Let's go back to Activity. And here you can see I can make a statistical entry just as I could with DeskTracker Basic. I can do a custom timestamp if I'd like. For example, I want to 3 minutes to 11:55. I can even make a multiple entry within this. And I'll click Submit. It's going to ask me, do I really want to make 5 entries? Yes, I do. Okay, so now that I made an entry, I can click on the Live button on the top right here. And this graph shows you recent activity. This here is the 5 entry, the multiple entry custom timestamp that I made. I also made one prior to it at the current time, and you can see that one on the end here. So this provides you a 10-minute overview of everything that's happening currently in your library. I like to say this is a good way for the directors and management to know exactly what's going on without micromanaging or disturbing the librarians who are busy with patrons. The directors can see how busy the library is at any given point in time. And you can also notice when I make an entry, go ahead and make another. When I do this, look at this area up here. These are my saved report templates that I showed you from DeskTracker Plus. When I make a submission, they will update. See, now my daily summary graph, the saved template, updated because I now have an additional entry that was made. So those report templates update whenever entries are submitted. You don't have to ever rerun those reports to get accurate data. So another feature of DeskTracker Live, again, it comes with everything that DeskTracker Plus did, but these are just additional features, so I won't go into everything I just showed you with DeskTracker Plus. But I will show you that under Reports and Statistics, again, you have all of the ability to do graphs that you could in the basic system and DeskTracker Plus. You have the ability to download in .csv format, save report templates as well. You also have the ability to schedule report delivery. And this is probably my favorite feature within the DeskTracker Live system because it's all about saving you time. And here I can enter up to 3 recipients who will receive this report by email. And these recipients do not have to have an account or user account within any of the DeskTracker systems. What they will do is they will receive an email with a hyperlink that shows the active graph. They will click on that link, see the graph, and it will be updated to the current data. And you can set the delivery time. You can do it one time on a single date. You could also do it the following dates of the week and choose the starting date. You can do it the following dates of every month. And you can also choose the following dates of every year. So this saves you time. You don't have to choose 2 days of the year where you're just going to sit down and do all of your reporting. You can just schedule that in advance, have saved report templates, and there you go. It's sent to who needs the report. You know it's going to be on time, and you don't have to spend the time actually doing it. You can set the report links to expire, and you can also set a delivery message within this email. Another great feature of DeskTracker Live is the ability to set alerts for high traffic service points. So this is the way I would set filters. So for example, if you have 20 entries at a single service point, you could set an alert for 20, or it might be lower, but 20 say within a 1-hour period, and that will alert the system administrator to send additional help to the desk, or just to know that it is busy at that time. Potentially ask if they need relief or use it for some other kind of purpose. You could also set alerts for equipment usage. So say you have 2 of one piece of equipment and 1 was checked out, you can set an alert to know that you only have 1 remaining, etc. So DeskTracker Live comprises all of the abilities of the prior systems. You have the statistics entry and reporting, you have the ticketing reference management system, ability to send email and therefore surveys. You can customize the system completely to your needs, and you also have access to support videos and help from the Compendium team. So again, I invite you to look at the product comparison chart on our website. Again, if you scroll to the very bottom of compendiumlib.com, you will see a list of our products and a detailed listing of what they provide. And if you have any questions at all, let me scroll to the very top of our website. Pardon my speed here. If you go to Contact, Information Request, here you can enter whatever questions you have, and somebody from our Compendium team will be there to answer the question for you. We also provide free demonstrations, so a one-on-one demonstration of any product that you are interested in. We also offer free 30-day trials of any product of ours as well. So if you are interested in using any of the DeskTracker systems or KnowledgeTracker as part of your public service assessment system, please don't hesitate to contact us today. You could also call me at 970-472-7979, or just go ahead and fill out this information request form on the website, and we're happy to answer your requests right away. And again, this is Jamie Hipp, Director of Sales and Support for Compendium Library Services, and it was a pleasure to speak with you today. Thank you so much for your time.